Photography for me in the beginning was really a means of expression to really get things I was feeling off my chest and onto a print to really kind of show to myself what I was feeling and to really make sense of it. When I was a police officer, I would carry a small compact camera around and just take photographs that I found was interesting, but I couldn't really photograph the substantial, meaningful things I wanted to photograph and to tell. So I would finish my tour of duty, go back and change my clothes back into my civilian wardrobe, and then head back out to photograph, the things that I really wanted to photograph that I found meaningful. But that being said, most of the photographs were taken after I left the police department. Before I was a police officer, I was an animator and illustrator. So I come from an art background. I mean, art was something I've always done. I grew up drawing and painting. It's something that always came naturally to me. And the police work was kind of just a side digression that I had in my life. So going back to photography was kind of a return to myself, and the work of photography, especially documentary, I found to be kind of a collaboration of all the things I learned I liked in life: art, self-expression, adventure, and meaningful storytelling. The respect story came to me when I was in Haiti about a year ago. I first encountered a group of people, a community living on this massive garbage dump that I found was incredibly sad, but also incredibly interesting. And I found someone there who was kind of like one of the community leaders, who I kind of befriended him. And I started to talk to him about their lives, and what they would do was they would live on this massive garbage dump, arguably one of the biggest ones in Haiti, and they would scavenge for whatever they could find: food, clothing, scraps to sell. So it was quite a really, really horrible way of living. The smoke was enormous. This massive garbage pile that sprawled for kilometers, almost, it would congest like everything with my lungs. I would get sick, and there's many families, including little children, living here, and it was something that I really wanted to explore in terms of someone's identity and their relationship with their community and the relationship with the environment around them, and the desperate means that this particular community had. So I went back this year after finding out that I was accepted into the Job Sport Masterclass. So I went back and photographed the community. One thing I found extremely interesting about this community and about the story was the sense of beauty it had, despite the horrible, horrible conditions that these people were being forced to endure. And the contrast between kind of the natural visual aesthetic of the place and the horrible fact that this was going on. And it was a very hard battle in my mind, how to balance those two. The master class for me has been an amazing time, and I say that in all honesty. I didn't know what to expect here. A week in a master class. I've been to other workshops, and it's been kind of like just a school. They've been great, but in terms of diversity and the difference between them, I felt that they're generally the same. Luckily, this has not been the case here. I think World Press gathered an insanely talented group of teachers, masters, as well as students, and I think just the combination of these two is magic. I always think that a big part of art is the process, and here at the master class, it's not so much about the technical parts and the techniques. It's about just the way you approach the subject, how you reflect it within yourself, ingest it, digest it, and then express it on a more personal level. So these are things that I thought it's been pretty significant. I think from now on, I will definitely approach photography on a more personal level. A lot of the growth I had here was going from a very didactic approach to photography and a literal translation of what I saw into a more personal one, to where I would try to feel or find an emotion that I want to convey, or find a non-literal, more ambiguous approach, so that it's not about what happens in front of the camera or the lens. It's more about the reasons of why it's happening,